at rates of consumption of oil of around 500,000 barrels a day, 485, call it 500 trillion cubic foot would be the equivalent in energy terms of 400 years worth of oil consumption in South Africa. This is a big chicken. She's a big puppy. The problem is that we're not sure whether it's there in totality. We're not sure whether it's in little bits and pieces, which would be very, very difficult to extract, costly to extract. For the sake of the report, there are two. One, assuming a 20 trillion cubic foot resource. Remember, we suspect the Karoo has got 485 trillion cubic foot, so it's like 4.5% of the suspected resource. And the other 50 trillion cubic foot, which is close to 10%. 50 trillion cubic foot has average employment of 700,000 people, upstream and downstream, for each of 25 years. That's the average employment. Peak employment actually comes out at about 840,000 employees at the highest point in any given year between 2020 and 2044. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a lot of money, it's a lot of jobs, and as such, I believe that the macroeconomic modeling indicates very firmly to us that we need to think twice about simply dismissing the potential of the Karoo gas as not being worth the risk on ecological grounds, on social grounds, on technological grounds, on legal grounds.
A question around the moratorium. So there's still huge uncertainty. You'll remember that the first moratorium was announced in the middle of February, initially against new licenses. When that was just about to expire, then the Department of Mineral Resources, through Cabinet, endorsed the initial moratorium. There were two further clarifications. The first one was the current license applicants. There were 5 of them in the queue. Shell was number 3 after Bundu Gas and Falcon Oil. The last one in the queue was, of course, Sasol, was that these will not be finalized until government, and indeed Cabinet, had informed itself about the benefits and the dangers of hydraulic fracturing. So if you do the math, that moratorium having been extended by a further 6 months expired at the end of February. When the Karoo Action Group then extracted out of DMR the names of the task members, we then understood from the newspapers that it is indeed anticipated that the report will be presented to Cabinet around March so that Cabinet can apply its mind and probably a decision to be made thereafter. But we also know for sure that the square kilometer array radio telescope decision will probably be made around the 1st of April. So I think it's a good time for the country to then evaluate and do a proper cost-benefit analysis. It would be nice to get both the SKA and indeed the Karoo exploration rights.